backyard breeders?
Probably the number one reason why rescues stay full all the time. Why animal control stays full all the time. Why any shelter stays full all the time. And while more dogs are just being dumped on the side of the roads. They just lead to more and more and more of a problem.
What's the most popular breed when it comes to backyard breeders?
I think it all changes on what is popular at the time. So whatever you're seeing on social media, people with, say, for the longest time, it was doodles, you know? Everybody wanted a doodle.
But right here in Midland, though, like what?
Here in this area, I'd say one of the biggest that I see is Pibbles, is the pit bulls.
Yeah.
Which is completely sad. Most people do not realize that pit bulls, they don't really have a chance to make it out of animal control, a shelter, especially in the state of Texas.
As soon as they come into a shelter, it's over.
There's so many of them. There is so many of them. I guarantee you, if you get a dog out of Texas, that is just your everyday average Heinz 57 run-of-the-mill mutt, that dog is going to have pit bull in it. Guarantee it, especially coming out of Texas. Which it's terrible because I adore the breed. They have such a bad rap, but they are some of the most loyal and sweetest, most loving dogs. I have one, her name is Billy, and at about, I think she was 5 months old, somebody used her as a bait dog, and once the other dogs got done tearing her front leg apart, they wrapped her up in a comforter and threw her over a fence in Odessa to die. And the only reason I knew, or I found out, was because my neighbor's granddaughter, it happened to be her backyard in Odessa that they threw the puppy over. And still to this day, that was 5 years ago, I still have Billy. She's a tripod. At 5 months old, she lost her front leg in order to save her life. But nobody will give her a chance because she is a pit bull. Everybody's like afraid of them. Any dog can enter my facility and I can dog test that dog with Billy. I cannot do that with healers, German Shepherds, anything mixed. But I could do it with Billy. The problem is that so much of society, or a portion of society, has used that breed in such a way that is so disgusting and vile, whether they're breeding them for money or they're fighting them for money.
And it happens here in Texas?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It happens everywhere, across the whole entire United States. But Texas, absolutely. 100%.
Elaborate a little bit on that. Like when dog fights, like where does that usually happen?
You see a lot of it down past, like coming out of the more southern Texas, like Rio Grande Valley. I had gotten a boxer out of the Rio Grande Valley who literally was emaciated to the point you can count every rib, see every bone in this dog's body attached to a chain, and at an area that was known for fighting. Because people will pay for that. There's sick individuals in this world that will pay to watch dogs kill each other. And there's sick individuals who will gladly take the money from those people and watch that happen and provide the dogs.
That is so scumbaggish.
But that's also the same principle with unethical backyard breeders. They're not doing it for the love of the breed. They're doing it because they're lazy asses who are just using the dogs to profit. That is the only reason they're doing it.
In your opinion, how do we stop that shit?
You have to get the people who, I'm going to say they're a position of power, okay? Because they're either law enforcement, there are county legislators, your state representatives. You have to get them to listen. And the problem is every time one of us rescuers, all the way from whether it's a local city council, going all the way up to writing whoever we can, all the way to the president of the United States. Because I will not lie, I have emailed him out the wazoo to try to get help for rescues. But it's like everybody has this. Everybody we're talking to that is actually in a position to make tougher rules, tougher regulations, tougher standards, tougher laws, enforce the laws, start arresting them. Every single one of them are like this. That's it.
When it comes to rescues and rescuers, why can't they get along? Is it a competition thing? Is it about money? Is it about clicks? Like, I've been getting that for the last 8-10 years that I've been filming rescues and rescuers. Some will not film with me simply because I already filmed with another rescue that they don't like. So I don't want to do a documentary with you. Why is that? Like, why are they killing the messenger?
I don't think that they even realize they're killing the messenger. I think that one, it's an absolute loaded question. No matter who is going to be sitting in this chair that you ask that question to, I guarantee you it's a loaded question. There's so many reasons why that every single one of us rescues, right? Every nonprofit, we have our own philosophies, we have our own missions, we have our own core beliefs, we have our own way of doing things. And every single one of us think or know that's what works. What the general public is probably seeing the most of is like, how do I explain this properly?
Let it go.
Every single one of us are fighting for the same slice of the pie of donations. Every single one of us are drowning in dogs. Every single one of us are exhausted beyond belief. Every single one of us are in debt up to our eyeballs, popping out the top of our head, no end in sight. Every single one of us want change. We want to see things better for the dogs. Every single one of us have an end goal, and it's usually the same, which is animal welfare. Now you add in the fact that we're all emotional. We're all burnt out. And every day we're trying to survive.
What about those 501c3s? A lot of them are scammers, right? Like fake.
I would say, so when anybody asks me about a nonprofit, I always tell them they should, one, check GuideStar, do your research, because not everybody is doing things for the reason they say they're doing them. And that's coming from somebody who has done this for 15 years. I have met some fantastic individuals in rescue. And I have met some other ones where I'm just like, I'm going to stay over here. And nothing like, it's just different morals, different ethics, different values. Everybody has different ones. And to me, the dogs always come first. I will literally starve before a dog starves under my care. I will not go to my doctor's appointment or buy my heart medication before I bought that dog's Lasix pills or their thyroid medication. That's me. That's my personal decision. That's my moral compass. That's my moral value. Somebody else's might not be that way. So what I tell people is, if you want to support a rescue, do your research thoroughly. Look them up. Everything's public information, 100%, all the way to tax rate. Every taxes that we have to file, all that stuff is public information. Do your research and know if it's a legitimate rescue or if it's somebody who's stealing images, because I do not know why individuals do this. There is zero reason for a non-rescue person or anybody that's not your rescue to be stealing your images, posting them as if the dog is under their care and asking for donations.
That's what's going on in the GoFundMe.
You have to be very,
Yeah,
and I see it a lot on TikTok. So here's one thing I tell people on TikTok, especially TikTok, because it's kind of way more lenient than like Facebook or Instagram. As far as you could say whatever the hell you want on there. You know what I mean? You could claim that you are a rescue that has all these animals in their care and custody. Here's your donation links. But you find out that they don't have a single one.
Do you want to hear this fucked up story?
Absolutely.
I was filming in the Everglades. That's by close south of Miami, Homestead actually, and I did the Redland. That's all south of Miami. And there was this, in the middle of this film, there was this rescue who was taking money to feed 8 pitties in the rock pit area. A rock pit, if you don't know what a rock pit is, it's a rock quarry.
Okay.
But it's known as the rock pit in that area because there's just a bunch of rocks everywhere and there's big giant quarries and stuff. So people would dump dogs there. It's the easiest, most cowardless way to do it.
Yeah.
They just dump it in places where no one's really going to see. Anyways, let's get back to this. So there's a rescue, I'm not going to name them, who was feeding pitties. And they were taking donations for it. Right? Are you with me here?
I'm with you.
Okay. So I'm filming all of this stuff. Days later, we stopped filming. They said another rescue went in there and took the pitties out of the streets, out of the rock pit. The rescue was upset. Why did you take my dogs? Now, keep in mind,
They're in a rock pit.
They took the dogs and got them fostered out, and a couple of them got adopted right away.
Oh, that's good.
Shouldn't the other rescue be happy? They were actually
Absolutely.
complaining, you took our dogs. They were upset simply because they were getting donations and money for those dogs. And isn't that shit fucked up? It's like some real fucked up shit.
It's ass backwards.
And they literally cut down filming with me because they didn't have anything else to do that day. They were upset that another rescue took the dogs away. That is exactly what I go through when it comes to filming rescuers and rescues. Not all of them. I love a lot of them are great.
Yeah.
But I get caught with these shady ones. And because it sounds so real, so genuine.
And that's what.
And then that's exactly when I say, don't kill the messenger.
Yep.
And I'm doing it out of the good of my heart.
Yep. And that's why I tell people all the time, even for you, look them up. Look them up, dig into it, because I'll tell you one thing. If there is dirt on a rescue, I'm just saying that. If there is dirt on a rescue, you're going to find it publicly. You will. I don't know why. It's like, I don't want to call it a profession because none of us get paid. It's not a profession. But it is in some sense. If that makes sense. It's a non-paid profession, okay? Right?
So what does the donor or the sponsor do if I don't have time to go vet someone. I don't have time to do research if that's a legitimate rescue. What do you do about that? You just don't, right? You have to do it.
I think you should do it, especially if you're going to be donating money or supplies, anything. I think you should do it. I think you should take the time and get to know the people behind the rescue and what the rescue is about.
If it's $10, $50, $100,
Even if it's $1.
research.
I think you should know where your money's going. And I think you should know how the dogs are being taken care of, that you're helping to support. I mean, to me, that's just, and every rescue, they should be showing that. Ones I know, they do. Like they'll come on, they make posts, thank you for your donations. This is the vet bill that was paid. Or, yeah, I think you should.
How do you feel about shelters, staff who makes 100,000 and over a year, and they're euthanizing? Like it, you know where I'm going with this, right? So I want to hear it from you. I already know the answer to this, but a lot of people who are watching us don't. How do you feel about staff members organizing all this stuff through the shelter, but they're making all this money? Does that bother you in some ways? I mean, they do have a job to do, but at some point, how much is too much?
As far as like pay, are you referring to like animal control facilities? So around here, they're called animal control. I know back home and back east, a lot of them say, oh, it's the animal shelter, No. At the end of the day, they're animal control. They're ran by the police department. They're funded by taxpayers.
How do these people make so much money and have the most crappiest shelters? Like how can someone make $150,000, $130,000 a year? Just stick with me on this one.
Okay.
And the shelter looks like shit.
Because
where the dog is looks like shit. And then they're bankrolling.
They're more concerned than about paying themselves.
How does it make you feel when you walk into a shelter and it says, don't bring any cameras in here? They're hiding something. Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, then get out. Get out. If you only care about a paycheck, get the hell out of rescue. Get out. Because every single one of us do this for free. We do this because we were called to do it. I don't know every president of every rescue and their story and why they created it. I know mine. I didn't do this for money. I didn't do this to be popular. Because I could tell you one thing. If you want people to hate you, run a rescue. Run a rescue. You will learn how to get thick skin real quick. Because people are going to talk so much shit to you. Other rescues, the general public.
Even rescues attack you doing the same thing?
You get slammed from every side. You literally have nobody at your back. That's how I feel. I can't speak for them. They might have a different opinion, but I can speak from my experience, what I've been through, and why I do it. So I had to learn over the course of 15 years, even in my own personal life, on my own first personal Facebook. That's not the rescue page, just my page. I cannot talk about politics. I cannot talk about religion. I can't talk about anything, because if I talk about something that somebody that supports my rescue doesn't agree with, they stop supporting the dogs. How ass backwards and crazy is that? If me and a supporter, or me and somebody in the general public, have a different political belief, have a different religious belief, they don't like what I posted on my own personal page, they will bash my rescue.
Just like that.
Just like that. That easy. I don't think people understand the scrutiny. It's like all of our life stops, period. I have no life. I'm the first one to tell you that. My husband will be the first one to tell you that. My parents, my sister, my nieces, nephews, They'll tell you they haven't seen me in 6 years.
Why do you do it? Why do you put yourself through that hell?
I know what it's like to be abandoned and forgotten. I know
I can relate to that.
that pain in your soul, that
It feels like the world is over.
you don't have nobody.
Yeah.
You don't have nobody in your corner. You don't have nobody to fight for you. You're just left alone to suffer. And unfortunately, because I am 46 years old, I know what it's like to be abused. I have faced that in my lifetime from men. And it's shit. It is absolute shit. I can't imagine not being able to fight back. Imagine these dogs.
So you think by fighting for these dogs, getting them off the streets, you think that's a way of therapy for you? Is that therapeutical? Do you feel like it helps you? Is it a type of PTSD that you went through? How does that?
I would say on some level, the master's of psychology degree in me would say I probably suffer from some level of PTSD, but not in the sense of what I think people who know my full life story probably think. They probably feel, oh, she has PTSD from crazy ass men. And no, I don't. I have PTSD because I have held 29 dogs that I put my whole heart and soul into saving, scraping them off the road, getting them well, caring for them for years, and being the one to be their ferryman and hold them while they take their last breath and leave this earth. Most people might have to do that once or twice in a lifetime. They might have 1 or 2 dogs in their life. I have done it 29 times in the matter of 6 years.
Wow.
And I have 57 dogs I take care of. They're hospice, majority of them, senior, paralyzed, amputees, cancer patients. So I have 57 more. That's if I stopped. That's if I stopped right now and I never saved another dog. I have 57 more. But I am never going to stop. It's not in my DNA.
You know, one thing that I can't comprehend, I can never wrap my head around that, how, I'm just going to say it, I just think it's some really fucked up shit when you see a dog on the road walking, and you know the dog has no home, it's lost, is either lost or dumped, and you just drive right by it. Let someone else think about that.
Not my problem.
Let someone handle that. Maybe I'll just call it in. Maybe I won't do nothing.
I would probably say 80% of the population does nothing.
Nothing.
Why? Not my problem. Blinders, not my problem. I got to get to the doctors. I got to get to work. I got to go pick up my kid. Every person, we're living in a very strange
In your opinion, though, real
world.
quick, I didn't mean to cut you off. In your opinion, what kind of people are they that do that?
I think you're average people, honestly. Today's world, look at how crazy.
What do you mean by average? Like
average, normal people that you probably
how
are
can you
friends
be
with.
an average person and drive by a dog that's been dumped? How can that be average? I'm trying to wrap my head around that. I think you just a fucking asshole.
I would probably say, you know what? You're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
If you can do that, but that's me. I can't. I cannot drive by.
You can always stop, right? Take a picture, send it to a rescuer in your
Oh,
neighborhood.
no. I'm getting out. I'm crossing 3 lanes of traffic to chase after that dog, to get the dog and get it in my truck. Yeah, no, that's me. I pick up every dog I see. That's but I cannot leave it there. I do not have the heart or soul to leave it there.
I can't sleep.
No, some people can. But I think it's because we live in a crazy ass world. The world of today is not the world from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like, very different world. Could I go back there in a heartbeat? Absolutely. I think that was a much better world then than what it is today. But it has made everybody go, 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 go. Everybody. Got to get to work. Can't be late. I need that paycheck. I need to pay my bills. I need to do this. Everybody is on edge. Everybody is going. Everybody's worried about the economy. Everybody's worried how they're going to buy groceries this week or even pay their vet bill, any of it. They're in such a hurry that they fail to see that they could have done something so simple that would have saved a life. That's it. They're just in a hurry. Most of society is in a hurry to get nowhere fast.
Yeah, it's like someone that's behind you in a parkway, right? And they just want to get by you.
Yeah.
And then you come to a stoplight and they blew by you, right? And then you get to some kind of stop, half a mile down, and you both together again. You didn't go nowhere.
Exactly. But if they would have slowed down for 5 minutes, like you said, take a picture, post it on one of the millions of sites that's on Facebook for lost and found pets, or grab the dog. If the dog was friendly and the dog came to them, put the dog in the car. Take the dog down to animal control. Good luck and see if they're going to take it or not. That's like a 50-50, so I don't know.
Suicide rate when it comes to rescues and rescuers. I hear a lot about that. I haven't actually ran into that yet in filming. Have you heard about it? Have you seen it? Mm-hmm. Do you ever feel that way?
Suicidal?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Me? No. I'll get down and sad, but it's too much work for me to do here. Dogs still need me. If I myself, who's going to take them? Who's going to take all the hospice dogs, paralyzed dogs, dogs with 2 back legs missing, dogs with no front legs missing? Who's going to take them? I'm needed. But is it a real issue? Yeah. Understandably, though. I understand why. Every single rescuer has such a huge heart, so much empathy. That's what drives every single one of them. I can tell you that for a fact. I might not know their special dog story that made them want to, or whatever that story may be, but they're empathetic. And when you've done this for years, that wears you. I get asked all the time, or a lot of comments, and they say on TikTok, I want to start a rescue. I want to play with puppies all day long. I want to, it's to the point where I had to make a serious TikTok about it instead of just replying to comments. And I told everybody who follows me, volunteer with a rescue, a shelter, volunteer first. Learn about fundraising, learn about home checks, intake, proper quarantine. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. Learn all about that. And then sit with yourself and ask yourself if you are willing to give up your life for that rescue.
What do you say about spay and neuter, people that say that's just not educated in it? Just the nicest way I'm going to be able to say it, who are not educated. How would you like if someone cut your nuts off?
You might be saving that dog from developing prostate cancer.
That's their excuses for not.
Same thing with spaying a female dog. You are going to prevent her from developing breast cancer when she's an older dog. Most people don't realize that. But you're gonna. The only time, now there are certain breeds who have certain conditions, and they cannot be put under for any type of surgeries. That's understandable. There's a medical reason, like Dobermans. Dobermans carry a certain gene that literally they could bleed out during an operation. So things like that, understandably. If I pick up a 12-year-old dog off the street and she's too old to be spayed now, I'm not going to go ahead and spay her. She's 12 years old. It's a risk to put her under at this age. Why would I gamble with her life when her life is already on the downward path? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let her enjoy her time. And I have saved a lot of senior dogs who are 13, 14, 15 years old, not neutered, not spayed.
I was filming a rescuer who would do a trade-off. And this is the trade. You let me spay and neuter those dogs that you have, and I'll bring you food for up to 6 months. He said no. These are backyard breeders and trailer homes and stuff like that. So
That's why.
She knocks in these doors, and they like, nope, keep your food. And they had no food. The dog's literally walking around looking for food. And you can come here and feed the dogs, but you're not going to spay and neuter them.
Because they're making money from them.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, which is, it's sad. It is so sad to see a lot of, God, what comes out of the backyard breeding cases. It's not even like they inbreed them. That is one of the, you're already low in my eyes, okay? You're a backyard breeder. I'm sorry. I don't apologize, people. You're low in my eyes. Now you're inbreeding. You are below low. You are like the fly that landed on that dog shit pile. Low. Because I know the result of the puppies that come out of that. I have Rain since she was 3 days old. West Odessa, lady inbred, brother and sister. Aussies. Little miniature Aussies. One of the puppies came out with its brain on the outside of its no skull. Its brain
That's from inbreeding alone?
Brain was exposed.
Is that why their eyes come out like blue sometimes?
Some of them.
Not naturally supposed to be that way. Is that inbreeding?
Some of them, yeah. Wow. Rain was born paralyzed, missing from the middle of her spine all the way up her neck. She has no vertebrae at all. Her vertebrae that are supposed to complete her spine from her mid back up are gone. They don't exist. She has no sternum bones. And she can't walk. She never will. Manny, he was born with straight leg syndrome and a grade 6 heart murmur. A specialist came down from Lubbock, did an echo, and told me that he may live to be about 2 years old if he's lucky. There's no fixing it. All because somebody wanted to inbreed dogs for money. And the puppies came out with special needs, or they die within hours of being born. But they're such a piece of shit that they will risk that and gamble that. Because if they have 10 puppies and only 3 are special needs or 3 die, to them, they don't care. They still have 7 that they can sell. It's a humanity problem. I don't think people realize how screwed a lot of humanity is.
I think that is the bottom. You're just a piece of shit, like you said. You're just nothing but a shithole.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrible. All because they wanted to make money.
All for the money. And if 3 or 4 die, like you said, that's who gives a shit.
To them, yeah. And then the ones who are left, missing body parts, not being able to walk, they're the ones I take. They're the ones I take. They're the ones I fight for.
Are there flea markets out here where people sell dogs?
So that is more towards like the other side of Texas. I've heard a lot of people go to big, they're like, what do they call them? Markets or whatever. Not really flea markets, but it's like a big event in Texas when they have them. But I think Fredericksburg is one of them. That you'll have to look it up. You'll see what I mean. But they sell the backyard breeders sell dogs there. You're talking like $2,000, $2,500 a pup at those type of events when they take their, Why would they stop then? Why would they stop if they always have a portion of the general public supporting them? Because that's when it comes down to. If the general public would stop buying from backyard breeders, they'd go out of business.
Yeah, they go out of business.
But,
business right away.
It's, overall, it's sad. The state of animal rescue in Texas is sad. It's depressing. Every single one of us are drowning. And it's like you're in constant survival mode around here.
Yep. Can we show your rescue?
Absolutely.
They can, at the end of this podcast, we'll show it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come down there, film. It's 3 buildings, one being my home. My home is a shelter. I sleep, it's a total of about 3,200 square feet between the 3 buildings. And we have like an 8-foot by 10-foot bunk that me and my husband sleep on. That's our personal space.
Oh, wow.
In our own home. Every bedroom is a dog bedroom. It's a shelter. And then I have the Amish house, which is to the left of it, and I have the Hope house, which is to the right of it. So I care for 57 dogs, 24/7. I get up about 5:30, 6 a.m., and I stop after midnight. And I do that 7 days a week. And I had a stroke doing it. So there's a price to everything. But you got to, I guess, ask if it's worth it, To me, it is. Everybody's so worried about me right now. Everybody wanted me to stop. Everybody's so concerned. And here I am, I'm trying to buy $130,000 school to turn into a even bigger shelter. You can't stop what's in somebody's heart. Is it scary? 100%. I don't like being half blind. I get very tired taking care of 57 dogs now. I wouldn't change it though. And I always say, if somebody walked in and found me dead on the shelter floor, they would have known I died happy. I died doing what I loved. I was taking care of the dogs. So to me, I'm good. I just want to make some damn change because I'm tired. I may be good, but I am damn tired. I am 46 years old.
If you can change something right now, we're going to wrap this up with your last answer.
Oh, God.
If you can change one thing, you can only change one thing, what would that be?
In general? That is a loaded question.
Nope. You can only change one thing when it comes to rescuers. You can change one thing. That can be a law. That can be the way they're organizing. It could be anything. But you can only change one thing. What would that be?
For every single one of us to come together, work together, and become the reckoning that these dogs in Texas need. Because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take every single one of us banding together to get the people who make these laws, the people in position of power, to finally take their fingers, and take them away from their ears. The law needs to be reclassified.
What does that mean?
They're not property. Under law, they're just deemed property. That's their classification. That's it. They're not alive. They're property, like your TV. They're property. They need to be listed as sentient beings. Scientific research has proven what their brains are capable of producing, functioning, executive functioning, critical thinking, feelings, everything.
what do you say to people who say, well, that doesn't make any sense? They can't cook for themselves. They can't pay mortgage. They can't drive themselves to school. So how the heck are they not property?
Well, the grandmother who is suffering from cancer, who's laying in a hospice home somewhere, who no longer can get up, dress herself, cook for herself, she's still a person. She's still a sentient being. She's still there. She's still alive, correct? She's not just property because she can't do all those things for herself.
But there was a
Dogs
time
are
that
the
she
same way.
could.
Yeah.
She was able to.
There
A dog
was a
never
time.
was able to do that
Nope.
at all. So what do you say to those people?
If a dog was left to its own devices in the wild, if humanity didn't exist, that dog would survive. That dog would find its own shelter. That dog would find its own food, right? That dog doesn't need to get dressed. It's already dressed. What I'm saying is, if humanity didn't exist, but dogs did, dogs would still function perfectly fine without us.
Because they already did.
Exactly. So why are they just property? Why are they just merely property? Why can't the law acknowledge them for what they are? They are a sentient creature. They can feel. They do have a thought process. Not to the extent as a human. I'm not crazy enough to think that. But the irony of all of this is that those same lawmakers, right, who will argue with you and tell you that that dog is just property. We can't relabel the law. No, it's just property under law. They go home to their dog, talk to their dog, ask their dog how their day was. They celebrate their dog's birthday. They ask their dog what they want to do today. They conversate with their dog. They treat their dog like a part of the family. So, how is that? That's ironic to me. You're going to go in. You have the authority as a lawmaker to change this law on the book and say, dogs classification are going to be redone. They're no longer merely just property under Texas state law. They now have rights, and they're awarded safety, just like a human being, which they should. They're a living creature. They should have the basic rights of life to be protected, to be safe, to be fed.
We do.
We do. Yeah, we do. But yet they can't do it. But they'll go home and celebrate their dog's birthday with a special dinner and a cake and probably even a candle and blow out a candle and sing happy birthday to their dog. But when they have to put their big boy pants on and step into the ring with the good old boy club, it's like they lose their backbone. Nobody wants to stand up and fight. None of them. I don't think they do. I think they're all complacent. I think they all just sit there and collect a damn paycheck. Biding their time, paying their bills. That's what I think. This is why I hate backyard breeders, because they end up in places like fucking this. Nowhere. Dumped in the middle of nowhere. This is Sophia. Sophia is another Kangal. Sophia looks the way she does because they cut her tongue out and half of the front half of her face. So she has no tongue. She has to submerge her face to get water. She drools nonstop. Come here, Ashcom, come here. Ashcom.
He walks like that because
He has double luxated patellis and he also has hip dysplasia.